company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. Why?
Good morning and good morning. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. It is the 19th day of January 2026, just about 12 minutes after the hour of 8. Thank you for tuning in today and always. Just to remind you, if you wish to join in on the conversation or bring something pressing to the fore, Our local number is 466-0989. In the U.S., 1-305-921-4619 or 1-718-285-6984. In the U.K., 0333440065. To all our regular listeners, to those of you who are new to Island Tea, good morning, good morning, good morning. For those of you out there in the diaspora, I hope all is going well on your end. Good morning as well. And to our lovely Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, a pleasant good morning. Quint, how are you doing this morning?
Well, as you can see, I'm wet, soaking wet.
Rain came down?
Yeah.
Oh, shucks me. I can't hear anything in here, because I was heated in here. Oh, boy. Sorry about that. And you have to be in the AC. I hope you don't catch anything. But I know you have a strong vibe because you believe in your bush.
I've been through this. I've been through this before, on numerous occasions. So.
Okay, kind sir. Sorry about that. I would say I have to put something on your bucket list, but I'm not going to put anything else on your bucket list. But I think you know what I mean. I'm just not going to let the public know what I have to tell you. So just to start off the morning, I see the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force has issued a firm reminder to the public: smoking in public places is illegal and will attract stiff penalties as authorities move to enforce recently enacted public health laws. So you can only smoke in places that are marked designated smoking areas. That includes for the high grade and regular cigarettes. So I saw something else that said that establishments who allow persons to smoke around other persons, they too will they will incur a fine.
Yeah.
So let's be careful about that. On the local scene, as we continue along, before I go regional, because regional it's hot over there down in the south. I see the Prime Minister said, I know they said we like to talk about our Prime Minister, but who else should we talk about? He's the leader. We have to talk about what's happening. St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister condemned statement suggesting citizenship is a product. In that article, I also saw where he said that the committee that was formed for the SSZ, it will deal with issues like a state within the state. So it basically will not allow anyone to come and make a state within a state. So that was a good part of that article when I saw it this morning. And there's also Sustainable Island State Agenda addressing environmental threat to the public, and talks with the embassy in Barbados on U.S. suspension of immigrant visas processing policy. We already told you, and I saw it's the same thing in this article, where it's just the green cards that are on a halt. You can still go and interview for your regular business tourist visas. That is still a go. Now, over on the regional side.
Before you go to the regional side, in terms of sustainable state and that kind of stuff, it just shows you that our government isn't ready, because the Attorney General came, he sat right where you're sitting, and he said, no, we're not going to have a state in a state. The whatever we have laid out, it makes sure that isn't, and now our Prime Minister is saying he's going to make sure that isn't a part of it.
Yeah, we're not going to have a state in a state. Yeah, he says, the other matter I want to raise, let me read, and I quote, the other matter I want to raise was the SSZ. I promised the people of St. Kitts and Nevis that we would have a SSZ ad hoc committee to look at the legislation. So I wanted to read a short statement here. The ad hoc advisory committee that I established to review the Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Act met for the first time on Wednesday, January 7, 2026. The meeting was constructive and candid, with members engaging in open and frank discussion on the purpose of the Act, its structure, and concerns and perspective that has been expressed by the organization and the wider public. The initial engagement marks the start of a focused review process, and over the coming weeks, the committee will continue its deliberations and is expected to submit a report to meet me setting out its observations and recommendations. It also says Dr. Drew reiterated that the government objective is with the Specialty Sustainable Zone legislation. This act has nothing to do with any specific plan. This has nothing to do with destiny. And I want people to know that. I said from the beginning, the objective of the act is to balance investments and to become attractive while protecting our sovereignty and constitution and our laws. So when I hear country in a country, this act is to make sure that those things don't happen. I will
Yeah.
end the quote there.
Yeah. Well, I said what I said before, and it still applies.
Oh boy. Ah,
Because all of this is after the fact. You understand? Suppose we people hadn't made all the hoopla, and we had gone about that, and then next thing
Yeah.
we hear there's a state within a state, right? And state within a state is only one of the concerns we have. It's
Yeah.
one of the major ones. But
Yeah.
hey, yeah, you can go ahead.
no, but it just proves that we have a lot of after the facts, because the visa situation, we were pondering, we were researching, we were going round and round because we want to put everybody's minds at ease, and then we have an article that says what we said already. So I guess, as they say, consultation has to happen. They have to speak to the embassy, so maybe that's why we are a little behind. And then I see another blogger continues to pummel our poor prime minister. Yes, I will use poor because he's a human. I know he chose the role, but this lady is pounding him then, because the word wants to tie my tongue up, in terms of not accepting the Haitians and talking about Haitians fighting for freedom for everyone, as Quint would have said and other persons would have said. So yeah.
I think we have a caller. Let's see if it's.
Caller, go ahead. You're live in Island T.
Grand rising, guys.
Good morning.
Grand rising to the listeners. Quinton Cotencia, as an African who is now knowing, I must say that I am not for the shedding of blood. I don't support those who have created weapons of death, nuclear weapon that would destroy ecosystem and life on Earth. But as an African, it gives me pleasure to see the divided states are now consuming themselves, and they're going into war. They're warring with themselves. I look back at World War I and World War II, and these people have an appetite for chaos. They have an appetite for control, and it gives me pleasure. It gives me pleasure to see that they are now at war with themselves again. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, guys. They have introduced hate to the world. They have imposed their system on us as an African collective. Now, when we were in our space, we were in harmony. When we ruled the world with knowledge and love. I'm taking you guys back to the Moors that went down into Europe and what they did for the Europeans who were in the caves. It's because of our knowledge and our civilization that were unknown to them, and when they came into our space and they see what we have, they, being who they are, they have given us a book that says all of the thou shalt not, which they themselves have committed: hate, lie, steal, and death and destruction. Look at them today. Donald Trump, am I on?
Yes, you are.
Donald Trump, Emmanuel Macron, Ursula von der Leyen, and all of them. Listen to their speeches today, guys. Listen to what they're saying. Maybe 3 decades ago, they used to say it behind our backs. Now they're saying it to our faces. Listen to Ursula von der Leyen's speech. We have to implement, and I'm just paraphrasing what she said, we have to implement the same strategy that we did with Russia and Ukraine into Burkina Faso, one of the poorest African countries now growing, becoming the fastest developed. I mean, when we listen to Ursula speak like this, doesn't this affect us? Doesn't it say anything to us?
Imagine that. Imagine it was one of the poorest.
We hear these things a lot.
Imagine
we
it
hear
was.
these people speak like this.
Imagine it was one of the poorest. It is now growing fast, but she wants to stem that.
But
Yeah.
the young lady
Because
that
you see,
spoke,
only them supposed to survive.
yeah, the young lady that
And
spoke
when
on Dr.
Journey
Jutu,
speak and say,
Journey,
Jenny, hold on a
occasionally
second. She
let us
also
interject.
said that the big powers only invade countries that have things.
Yes.
So saying it's is not going to be invaded, but just saying. I just wanted to put that out there that once they see you start having something,
Yeah.
they want to come and take it from you.
Go ahead, Journey.
and you see all that Trump is doing now within, and you know, our prime minister. Quint, we have to refrain from calling these people leaders. They are not leaders. Let's call them politicians, because the mind of the oppressor is trapped into them. I mean, to know what Napoleon did, Toussaint Louverture did with Napoleon, and what is happening. Haiti is our redemption, but Haitians are being excluded. And the Prime Minister come to let's see if I can find the words as I listen to his wordings. You know, to make us feel appeased by sidelining Haitians. I mean, does the Prime Minister know his history? Toussaint Louverture defeated Napoleon, and Napoleon said one of his greatest failure was not conquering Haiti. But they are telling us to exclude Haitians.
Not
as
there,
if we know nothing.
Not there, because this is us now telling each other not to, if
and try to make it sound.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even find the word, Quint. I can't even find the word. And I've noticed with the Prime Minister during all this.
Journey, I feel no sorrow whatsoever for our Prime Minister. I mean, I love the man. It is like having a child, and you tell them certain things, and they go out, and something happens. Once it doesn't maim them and so forth, and you say to them, "Well, I've been telling you all along."
Quint and Cortencia. The book that most Africans relate to right now, that's called the Bible. It gave us in the Old Testament all of the thou shalt not. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not hate, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not be a false witness, thou shalt not covet. But looking at European footprint on this planet, guys, are we not seeing that they have committed all of this? Where does that leave us? When we believed from 1619 to 2019, 400 years. And what they did 2019, guys, they closed on the planet with COVID-19. These people knows something that would forever keep us. In order to maintain their control, they shut down the planet 2019 with COVID, because they know the age of believing was coming to a close, the age of Pisces. We're now in the age of Aquarius, of knowing. I want my Christian brothers and sisters to remove themselves from the lie that is written in that book, because 400 years of slavery expired 2019. The system knows what they're doing. We are going along to get along. And our politicians, they have become dogs of a king. I say this respectfully because these are facts that our people need to... During COVID, we used to hear, and I repeat this already, but just bear with me, guys. During COVID, there was an ad was played on our airwaves. Caribbean tourism is dead in the water.
Bearing in mind, Journey, that we're fast approaching the half hour, and it's
I'm going to finish right now, Quint. Yeah, got you. Caribbean tourism is dead in the water. Going forward depends on what's happening to Europe, America, and Canada. I said, this is a message to us. In as much as we have our taxi men, we have our hotel industry, and we rely on tourism, it is a message for us to wake up, because Europeans and Americans do not want us to connect with our continent with the resources that we are entitled to. Quint, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'll try and get back in later.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Said, I mean, our prime minister, our leader, he called this on himself. He should have thought. I often hear him saying when it came to the marijuana, he spoke about how it was maligned in history and it wasn't really a drug and so on and so forth. And he went back and he used history in relation to that. And on so many other occasions I hear him speaking history. But history is not something that you use at your convenience. It is there. It is glaring. You understand? And if we're going to speak about marijuana, right, you think that is more important than the fact that we are today enjoying a level of freedom because of the sacrifice that Haiti did, and you can't see that, and you can't find some love in your heart to when these people come and they sit down in front of you and they say, don't do this and don't do that. You can't just say, well, I'm going to think about it. Just say that. So, well, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to think about it. You know, I mean, they're going to make all kind of things. All kind of things are going to come down on us, but it only happens because you still decide that you feel so pompous you want to stand out on your own, right? After the police, if possible, I'm going to play some clips, or if not, then into voices, because I'm sure, because there are some ships in today, perhaps Socrates might not be coming in.
Okay.
So, but our leaders in the Caribbean are falling over themselves to make excuses for accepting these people that the U.S. wants to heap on us.
But we have a small population of Haitians here. I think most of them are in Nevis. I've encountered a few of them at service establishments, and their services were very good. I couldn't even believe
they're not any detriment to us. But when that latter part of my statement, I was dealing with the refugees or whatever you want to call them. If you hear our leaders, if you hear our leaders falling over themselves, go ahead, Cleo.
Morning, how is everybody?
Good, yourself?
I'm good, thanks be to God. No, I actually just woke up, No, I'm listening, right? And what Quint is saying, like for the Prime Minister, like I wrote, I said he don't know diplomacy because do you think he's the only one that tell don't accept Haitians?
No.
No, but as I said,
I don't believe he's the only one. But I think whoever the right for the Prime Minister,
they set him up.
I think they set him up.
I don't agree.
I believe they set him up.
I believe he was rife for the setting up. I believe he wanted it because you want. So Cortensia is going to write a script for me. I'm not going to read it before I go through it. I'm going to go and answer the doorbell.
Okay.
Chris, I believe they set him up. Why I said that, right? Look at it now. Even his very own Minister Tourism, right? Writing and making him look bad. Now, this is his colleague writing to make him look bad. And I think one of them, another one is something with the police, something. All of them, they're writing to make him look bad. I mean, how I look at it, right? He's wrong. Like I said, he's wrong for what he said. And I don't believe he's the only one that tell not to do it.
Yeah,
whoever right there,
I always felt so.
right for him.
Cleo, hold a minute. That's a juicy bit of information you got there. Hold it and come back after the police, okay? Because I didn't know that his own colleagues are writing things that would make him look bad. Okay, so we're going to take a break right now, and we'll be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
And we're back on Island T, and as we allow our second officer to settle in, we will begin with today's traffic talk. So good morning to both officers. That's Sergeant McGuire and Constable Bell. Welcome back to the studio of Island T and to Traffic Talk.
Good morning, Captain. Good morning to P, and we also radio listeners. Content we are going to start. Bell will start with the stats. I don't know if you want me to go and then.
No, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
Bell here. Yes. So we like to give the stats.
Yep.
So we're gonna give the total stats for 2025.
Okay.
Yes. So paid tickets, and these are for St. Kitts. The paid tickets for St. Kitts for 2025 were 5,143 tickets. Unpaid tickets, and this is for St. Kitts, 1,535.
So these
tickets.
people in court.
Yes.
Some in court, yes.
Right.
So we have a total of 6,678 tickets were issued. It could be more.
Okay.
It could be more. Okay. Tickets for Nevis. Nevis, yes. Paid 1,306.
Okay.
Unpaid 754.
Okay.
Sorry. Pending cases. The overall pending cases, that's for the Federation,
Okay.
1,250.
Okay.
And out of that 1,250, 264 are for Nevis. So I average about 1,000 for St. Kitts.
Not too bad for the population, but still a lot. Yeah.
We understand sometimes that officers may give tickets, and after they might use their discretion, or there might have been an error on the ticket, and some of the tickets would have to be cancelled.
Okay.
Okay, so we had a total of 41 tickets
Okay.
cancelled, and 33 of those ticket cases were closed.
Okay, so that's the ones that went to court.
Yes.
Okay, just want to have clarity on that.
Okay, for accidents last year, unfortunately, we had 8 fatal accidents.
Yeah, I think less than the previous year where we had about 13 or so.
Yes.
11.
11?
11.
Okay, okay.
And non-injury accidents, we had 1,201. You know, the fender benders, the Duke here.
Yeah.
Yes. Severe or serious accidents, we had 16. Those are where persons, you know, had broken bones, lacerations, and stuff like that. You know, some persons, you know, they'll be hospitalized, but we still consider it as slight. You know, once there's no broken bones or deep laceration, that's, you know, sometimes persons go and they just complain for their back or they complain for pain, stuff like that. So those are what we would consider to be slight.
Okay.
And we had a total of 116 accidents overall.
Okay.
With slight injuries.
Right. Now, Content said the reason why we choose to present the stats to the general public, apart from the fact that is information that the public needs to know, but it's really to highlight one, meeting our objective of continuing informing the general public, and what those statistics are indicating is that going with the tickets is that persons are still not mindful. And I could give you the figure of the paid tickets. It's over $1 million.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
It's over $1 million. And so the thing about it is that it's not that we make it our duty to issue tickets. It's an indication of how the citizens, how law-abiding they are in terms of when it comes to traffic. And that is why we have to continue to enforce. And this year, we are going to even be more strict than we were last year. Because sometimes we use these statistics to give us a guide as to how our enforcement has been going, whether we need to, whether we are achieving the objective or whether there is more that we will have to do. So we assess our strategy that we are put in place in meeting the objective. And so as part of the strategic pillars of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force is that road safety. And we have to continue to do our part within the traffic department. And so I want to encourage and appeal to the general public, the motoring public, please obey the traffic restrictions that are in place.
No matter how much you plead.
People like to say that we are putting monies in the government pocket.
This morning I saw, you see that road that comes down from the airport that they used to go up and come down on before that. It's kind of has a big stone in front of
Blocked
it.
off.
Yeah? You see that road? Well, you know when you come around before that, you have what you call it, the bypass lane.
Yeah.
The bypass lane. And so you have cars in the bypass lane, and then by the time they reach that road, there's no bypass lane, okay?
Yeah.
It's heading right into that part of the, and you know, a car choose to pass right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, suppose the drivers weren't alert enough to mash their brakes and let him fitting, a big pileup would have happened there.
Yes. You know, we just have to be more considerate. And think it is a very small place. So then I know, I really cannot understand why we think that we have to get there in a hurry. Because just by traveling at a normal speed, you get there in reasonable time. And as I always say, if for some reason you want to get to your destination promptly, you have to manage your time in terms of your departure time, because you have to take into consideration unforeseen road conditions. You don't know what you're going to come up against. And so to avoid yourself having to put yourself under pressure and take action and make decisions that are going to end up to be risky, that will result in you having to get in an accident or even breaking the law. We can avoid some of these things, Continency. We can. We really can.
We can, but this is, man, look, this is reckless
Exactly.
disregard.
Yeah.
Even the turning lane that was created on the F.T. Williams Highway to turn across the Cayenne Jet, people are still overtaking there. And every time I see it, I say, boy, we're consumable. Every time, I swear, because I remember you clearly said, no, overtaking, people are still doing it. Sometimes you see people waiting and they just zoom past.
And,
like,
what a lot of
doing?
persons are doing too, before they reach actually in that lane where they can enter, they start entering it from the kind of triangle way going into the. So sometimes those persons, if someone is trying to enter from the opposite lane to turn, if you're entering there, you're gonna have a head-on collision.
Serious.
They're not waiting until they see the broken lines to indicate that they can enter.
Right.
People just don't care.
Yes, so we will continue to enforce, we will continue to educate and appeal and solicit the general cooperation of the public. But just know that when you're being ticketed, it's not that the officers take pride. It's something that they like to do. They just have to do their work.
Exactly.
They just have to do their work because with the increase of motor vehicles and our roads have not really increased and so on. Besides, they are not, some areas are not very wide, so it cannot accommodate vehicle parked and still facilitate a two-way traffic moving vehicles. And so those are the reasons why the restrictions are in place. And so it means, therefore, that we have to really make some adjustments. If it requires us to park at a further distance and walk the rest, then those are some of the adjustments that we have to make.
You have a caller.
Yes.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk. Good morning.
Good morning, officers Grint and Lady Host.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm very disappointed with the kind of figures that the officer called out today in terms of money. Because when it comes to money, I don't recall seeing anybody who I think in my mind who could afford it getting an accident, you know. It's poor people getting in accident.
So you want
they
rich people
can't
to get an accident
afford
too?
it. And then when they get in accident, they find themselves affording it. So
I almost thought you are disappointed in the...
Push that mic away from
Yes, I almost thought that the caller is disappointed in the figure, but I now understand. He's saying he's disappointed that it's poor people who end up paying this money.
Officer, the money could have been well spent to do something really tangible for the people who causing these things, you know. I will give you one instance. I was driving on the public road. I will not call out the area. And a young man passed me so fast, I thought he should have had siren on that vehicle. He had to be an ambulance or a fire truck. When I reach and I catch up with him, the man stopped by the side of the road, out of the vehicle, standing up, talking to some people, relaxed, like he wasn't in no hurry. He just trying to see how fast the car could push to go and to see how he could eliminate that. Now, the thing is, somebody like him, officers would not catch easily. They're going to catch somebody who genuinely drive a little bit fast than normal.
Right.
To actually duly go to the place where they want to go, and they might end up footing the bill.
Right.
Because just because he drive fast and get away with it, don't give you the right to do so.
Yeah.
Because even though the officer might see him and does not catch him, he will catch you. But the thing is that we could do better.
Right.
And the last thing, why is it that we want to overtake in a roundabout? We don't have to stop when we reach a roundabout. We just slow down, give way to traffic from your right, and proceed.
They may give an even way.
Why the hurry? You cannot overtake round a corner. You cannot overtake over a hill.
Yes.
Why in a roundabout where you could see? Don't make any sense to me. And so the driver in front you cut back in because his intention was different to yours.
Right.
And then you have accident. Then the other fella driving right in the other fella trunk behind him. You're driving in his trunk that you could see right in his car. What you're looking for, I don't know. Must be a police. When you could stay back and look at the two back wheels, that gives you the distance. That if you put the foot on the brakes, you have adequate time to stop. You don't have to hit him in the back. Because when you hit in the back, 99% of the time, you're wrong. We could do better. And the ticketing become in a position where it's like it defeats the purpose. Because that wasn't really designed for that. It was designed as a preventative measure. But for some reason or another, we end up paying the ticket. Gentlemen, I'm sad about the figure because that money could be well spent, do something better. And money in the hands of the people keep the economy going, not in hands of government, because they're going to rent more building and they're going to rent more this and that, and we ain't going to see where the money going. If the money in your hand, do not let the police give you no ticket. You don't want to go England, you can't even get a visa now. So I think I've said enough.
Yes.
Gentlemen, have a good day.
Thank you,
And you know, Carla, just to really take that point further, is that we, during the photo reader, we had one person doing 92 miles. That equivalent to $650. $650 for that 92 miles. I don't know if he just wanted to see if a camera was in place, but I could not really understand the reason why you going across F.T. Williams Highway and doing 92 miles. About, I think it was about 11 in the night. And so on.
Figure nobody out there.
Yeah.
As he's trying.
92 miles. 92 miles. $650.
Yeah, he just wanted
And
to
we
test the speed
made
of his car.
every effort to ensure that the ticket is up. We made every effort to ensure that he got the ticket because that is really ridiculous. Another thing with the reckless driving and so on, one of the things that we don't take into consideration, not only the physical damage to the vehicle, but the injuries, the inconvenience to the person. So here you have your reckless behavior and you inconvenience me as a result.
Yeah.
Or cause me to go through all kind of suffering, pain and suffering, when that could have been avoided.
Yeah, you have a call.
Caller, go ahead for the officers. You're live in traffic talk. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. First thing, I'm calling to echo my sentiments about the lines them again in the roundabout, especially the one at the airport. Also, the caller made a point about the overtaking in the roundabout, but people, I guess, seem to misinterpret what is overtaking, because if you and I are coming from Frigate Bay, I am going to the airport, you are going down to TDC, right? If you are the ones going to TDC is supposed to go in the outer or the left lane, I'm going to the airport supposed to go into the right lane. If both of us enter the roundabout at 20 miles an hour, naturally, if anybody knows about track and field especially, in the inner lane, it's going to appear to move faster because they're moving at a shorter distance. If you are in the wrong lane and the outer lane, both of us going to the airport, it also might appear that me in the inner lane is going faster because I am traveling and traveling less. So you are going outside, you might want to speed up to try to beat, which I've seen many times, especially with these students. I'm not discriminating against them, but me driving and I look over on the driver's side, I could tell that they are non-nationals, presumably WAS or the other school. Okay, and a lot of them like to know, on the outer lane, everybody going towards Kim Collins, and they realize you're in the inner lane, and they speed up to try to beat you. A few times, I've had to stop in the roundabout just to prevent a collision because they're coming around moving at an excessive speed just to try to beat me to get into the entrance to Kim Collins. Same thing happens at the airport when you're exiting from Kim Collins. As a matter of fact, just a couple of days ago, I should have saved the video on my camera now. But anyway, two people was in front of me. One came in each lane to enter the roundabout. The one on the outer side was going towards Connery. The one on the inner side was going towards F.D. Williams. And I had to stop. I said, look at this. This could have been a massive accident here where one, I think, was the one on the inner lane had to ease up to let the one on the outer lane go all the way out to go Connery. And then he proceeded in front of me to go on the F.D. Williams highway. So signs is needed. The line, the divider line in the roundabout at the airport roundabout is needed. And I guess re-education, because really and truly all drivers who learn to drive here especially should know how to use the roundabout.
Yeah.
Even if you got your license before the roundabouts are as they are now, it is in the highway code. And I don't understand when you tell people, oh my, that's how they're accustomed to do it, you know, blah, blah, blah. So that's not no excuse. As I say, ignorance is no excuse to the law. And a lot of them find out when they get in accidents and the investigation proceeds, and then they realize, well, I didn't know. And that seems to be a lot of people excuses. I didn't know, and I accustomed to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Have a good day.
Right. I'll let you know, caller, that
Maguire, push that mic away from you.
Okay, sorry. Right.
There's another caller. Don't know if you want to address the hello caller.
Yeah, greetings and salutations. Question to the constable and the sergeant. Have any one of you ever driven in Mexico, the United States, or Canada?
I have never.
United States.
Okay. I'm glad you said the United States. Now, the confusing thing about our roundabouts is that we have vehicles entering our roundabouts from different angles. Now, in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, everything enters from the right. So there's no confusion. Whichever direction you want to go when you enter the roundabout, you have to make a right turn. And this is why we have so much accidents and people are so confused when they enter our system. The Canadians used to use that same system we were using, you know, and they changed it. You know, so why are we holding on to this British style of driving? It's confusing. That's my take.
Okay, well, I would answer the caller. Everyone enter on the right in the US because they drive on the right hand side. We drive on the left hand side. So if you're driving on the left hand side, we cannot be entering on the right. However, for us to leave something that we are accustomed to, that is basically tradition for us to know to start to adapt to someone else type of driving or way of driving, that would be the confusing thing for our drivers.
Do all of our drivers enter on the left? Because he was saying that we're entering the roundabout and in different directions. I don't drive, so I don't understand.
Well, once you enter the roundabout, you have to give way to the right because you be going in a clockwise. In America, they go anti-clockwise.
Okay. So maybe that's part of the puzzle then.
Well,
part of the mix.
But
I would only say for
there is no puzzle.
I would only say for it would maybe be a little confusing for those who come from America, but just as we travel and we adjust automatically, I think they need to adjust automatically. One of our problems, I think, and that's why I say I think, a lot of the rental companies, I don't think that they properly
do the
go through
education,
the educating part of the drivers, and then they are disadvantaged because those drivers go out and get in an accident. So now their vehicles are damaged.
Yeah.
And now we, the country, have an increase in accidents because our other citizens' properties are damaged also.
Yeah.
And these people, after the accident, by law, we cannot keep them in custody here. Because it's a traffic accident where maybe if life was lost or something like that, we could take other steps. But for normal accidents, they can manfully get back up and go up. And that's why we try to encourage the rental companies, our family members, our friends who are going to permit persons to drive when they come here, especially non-nationals, properly educate them. Because I was actually on 4th Street and some tourists came and they parked right by the corner on a yellow line. And I was like, I asked somebody, you could see me? And then I approached the person and they were like, oh, I thought I could park here.
But a yellow. So
the person who giving the vehicle, they're not telling them, hey, you cannot park by yellow line.
But these are international signs.
Yeah.
They're international.
But what? Last December I was complaining to Donnelly and Sergeant Maguire what was going on. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T with the driving.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think the officer did the right thing just now. That will help a lot of people. Whenever you're in the roundabout, you should give way to traffic on your right. Okay? Yes. The same thing applies to the slip lanes. There are slip lanes at the airport roundabout as well as the Greenlands roundabout there. Okay? I'm not sure, to be quite honest. I know there are arrows that indicate you have to turn right. I'm not sure if there are markings on the road or there are signs which say you have to give way as well. There may be. Because you see, I think for most people it's obvious that you have to give way to the traffic that's already in the lane that you want to go in. Okay? But the signs I think would help, not just the arrow saying that you can turn right, but the sign saying that you have to give way. And that the roundabout by the central in particular, that's a problem for a lot of people because although technically once you're in the roundabout, you have every right to its use and you can go round and round if for instance you made a mistake as to where exactly you were going. But at the same time, if you have two people coming from Frigate Bay, right? One in the outer lane and one in the inner lane. And they're both both going to Kim Collins Highway. At some point, they can be parallel. And it has to be clear that the one in the outer lane should give way to the one in the inner lane in that respect. The problem is, I think, when they have to judge whether the person in the inner lane is actually going back to Frigate Bay or going on the Kim Collins, keeping on the Kim Collins Highway, right? So, it's all about, I think, due care and attention, and always remember to give way to traffic on your right, I think. And that if you follow those two, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Just to add to the caller, well, we came here last year, we did the roundabout maybe 3 times. But to give a summary of the proper use of the roundabout, when you're approaching the roundabout, if you intend to go straight or left, you take the outer lane, which is the left lane. If you intend to make a right turn or a U-turn, you enter in the inner lane, which is the right lane. It's straightforward.
So me coming from Kim Collins, heading to Ponds, as of Sergeant Maguire said, to TDC, I have to take the outer lane.
The inner lane.
The inner lane?
The right lane. You're coming from Kim Collins Highway, so you'll be taking a right turn. That is the inner lane.
And that's what I do. And I always have to be looking to make sure nobody, when I'm ready to exit to go over, I put on my indicator, and I'm always looking to make sure nobody coming up to rush before me.
With the caller who mentioned about track and field and inner lane and outer lane, when the caller was speaking about overtaking, because I have charged persons for reckless driving, dealt with accident in, for example, we're coming from the King Collins Highway, one vehicle is intending to go to Frigate Bay. Another vehicle intending to go to Frigate Bay also, but enter in the right lane, the inner lane.
That makes sense.
Overtook that vehicle. No, I'm sorry. The person in the outer lane was intending to go straight to Boardrock.
Okay.
So they're still in the left lane, and this person is intending to go to Frigate Bay.
In the right lane.
Came in the inner lane, which is the right lane, overtook that vehicle and tried to cut across to go to Frigate Bay, and end up getting the worst because now they clipped the front bumper of that vehicle and caused their vehicle to spin. Yes, so that is what we're speaking about when we're talking about persons overtaking in the roundabout. If both vehicles are going around the roundabout because they entered from different angles, but they're intending to exit in the same area, that's why we say persons must indicate by the previous exit before their intentional exit.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning. Peace to you all and to our nation.
Same to you.
Very good information, officers, and I hope the people are listening. I want to encourage you to never stop coming to give direction and inform the public, because at the end of the day, it's a public service, and it's, if you want, it's a community police. However, do not, just remember, every country has their rules and laws, and you could come from miles. When you go there, you have to comply. Adapt to that situation. It would be a kind of strange for us to leave Secret and go to the United States, and so because we're driving on the left and our vehicle steering wheel is on the right, they should adapt to us. Do you think they will listen to us? Or they will say, okay, we understand? Or they will ask you, do you have a driver's license? Do you know what the traffic laws are? You all understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
So the persons who come here, they should be able, they know what the rules are, they know what the laws are. However, I'm not sure if this situation with the U.S. And Mexico is, I think Mexico might have roundabouts. Perfect example. Because, you know, they have highways and they have exits. A perfect example might have been the UK that has a lot of roundabouts like us, and some other Caribbean islands have a lot of roundabouts like us. And those who drive on the right always give way to traffic on your right. Those who drive on the left, it is left, because that's you understand where I'm coming from. The exit on the right. So it's, and plus, again, you only have two lanes, one going in one direction, one going in the opposite direction. Some of those countries that they talk about have 3 lanes going in one direction, 2 going in one direction, or 4, and things like that. But what is most important is for us to recognize the traffic, recognize whose life is in danger and whose vehicle is being damaged. So, as somebody will say, and the scripture will tell you this as well. You could take the donkey to the well, but you cannot force it to drink water. However, as a law enforcement officer, you are duty bound to inform, direct, and even summons an arrest when the time comes. So that is why I'm saying, don't feel as if you're repeating yourself. Because, Maguire, I think you would have been on some RSS training, the military training, and said, repeating means what? It's important, right?
Yes.
You remember that, right? So just continue repeating and continue coming. You will see the majority, and I want to believe the majority of the persons are actually complying, and just a minority, but the minority cause havoc on the road and cause damage and destruction. So my voice now is just to encourage every driver in St. Kitts and Nevis, because the laws also apply to personal throughout the federation. However, I must say though, I was informed by someone from Nevis that when they came on here to drive, because we're a bit bigger, we have maybe more roundabouts and so forth, they will be confused how the roundabout go. So I'm also encouraging our brothers and sisters who over in Nevis to remember our traffic rules and so forth. I don't know, Maguire, the constable, if you ever heard anyone say that about the somewhat difference with the amount of roundabouts and how they mark out here in St. as opposed to in Nevis. And remember, they don't have traffic lights and so forth. So I'm just calling on all of our citizens and residents throughout the Federation to make themselves aware and properly informed of what is to be in our country. Because at the end of the day, the life you save might be your own, And the money you save is your money. And just want to say that. So God bless you all. God bless thanks to Nevis. And of course, God bless Constituency number 7. Have a blessed day. Have a peaceful one.
Thank you.
Thank you, God.
Well,
I know that our time is
you're
going
8 minutes.
fast.
You're 8 minutes over time. So
Yeah. Yes, so that
you
that
had a
is
lot of callers today.
Yes, and we like that because when the public is very much engaging, so even though sometimes it takes you a little bit away from what you have intended to share, it's always good to hear and get the feedback and an opportunity to provide additional information. But we perhaps when we come back next week, we could because we are in the period of licensing, and that's one the area that we want to continue to give the information in terms of the inspection standard and also the renewal of driver's license, and for persons who have to conduct businesses with the traffic department, like the instructors and other persons, you also have to renew your license, your business license, because in some cases you will not be allowed to continue business unless your business license is up to date. So perhaps when we come back next time, Cortensia, we will focus on that aspect of information. All right. Good.
I just want to say good morning to Dr. C.G. Walvin. He's always listening. And I just want the drivers to, comply with the police. We're not here to target. We're not rival gangs or anything like that, because sometimes we stop persons, just to say, hey, good morning, drive safe, have a good day. And as you stop a driver, they turn on the window. They set the mood even before there was even a conflict, And then when you stop to check them now because of the attitude they give you, sometimes the license expired, the insurance expired. When a good, a nice smile on your face and say, good morning, officer, how could I help you? And they could have moved on.
Exactly.
So
they set up themselves.
Yeah, the police. The police is not the enemy. I mean, some officers, sometimes you get complaint. Officers abuse their power, their authority. But it's, any business places you get these complaints. But you cannot.
This is
lump all of them together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so work with the police, and we will work with you.
Please give the police a smile.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, root boy. So when we drink, root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we building up our vibes. So when we drink, root boy. So when we drink, root boy. Why? If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
And we're back on Island T. It's just about 12 minutes after the hour of 9. And Quint, what is it exactly that the caller said about the writing? Because I've been hunting for the whole
Well,
time.
she said,
I don't see anything.
What I got from what she was saying is that it seemed that some of the Prime Minister's colleagues have written things that puts him in a bad light, but that's why I said that's a juicy bit of information. So if she could come back at us and let us know what it's all about. Hello, caller.
Good day to everybody.
Hi, good
And
morning.
greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from the sins and hell, by the gospel only, through faith only, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, first of all, I would like to say just a little response to Johnny. The Bible is the Word of God. It is the only source of all truth, knowledge, and wisdom as the Word of God. That's the first thing I have to say. That little response to Johnny. Now, I was looking at something on the weekend. Well, another thing, and Quint is going to be more, he going to know why I said this. I look at sorry a second, a big truck was passing through my village, and these vehicles drive through Midland too fast. I wanted to call in to tell the drivers, hey, cut down on your speed going through Midland, especially these big vehicles, Mack truck, and you name them. Now, Quint would understand why I said this. Quint, I look at the movie Wag the Dog. Wag the Dog.
Well,
very insightful.
I've never seen that movie, so.
I would really recommend you look at it, and it gives you a little bit more additional perspective and perspective on why America does the evil that it does, and give you a little bit more insight that, there's more to behind the scenes than what you see up front.
Okay.
Wag the Dog. I would recommend it really to everybody. And I think by extension, give you a little bit more insight into politics, period. Now, I was looking at something over the weekend on YouTube. No, I don't think, one was on YouTube. I think maybe the second one was YouTube as well. I think. But it was on somebody's status on WhatsApp. And I think the link took you to YouTube. Now, something I realized, I just came to realize. And I said to myself, we are shortchanging our people in different ways. And it was to do with the housing thing. And I think one set of people got one set of people got really apartments in some apartment buildings. I forget where it was. The Prime Minister took a walk through it. And I think I saw Dr. Jeffrey Hanley as well. Dr. Jeffrey Hanley.
That's recently? That's recently?
Yeah, recently.
Okay.
Recently. But I forgot the area though. But I saw either the PM or the Prime Minister was taking a walk through it, and they showed the outside of the building, and I think one fella cut a ribbon. I think a fella cut a ribbon to it. And from what I saw on the outside perspective, it looked like apartment buildings. And I said to myself, we should not be giving Kittitions apartment buildings. We should be giving Kittitions proper piece of land. Because when you give Kittition apartments, okay, number one, you're compacting Kittitions together. Number two, it limits your net worth and generational wealth. And not only that, I ask myself as well, what about when the buildings start to get down? You got to go wait on government to fix it, and that sort of stuff. Whereas if you have your own land and you build your own house on it, number one, you could get better deals than what you will get when government build your house. But number two, you could rebuild or refurbish your house anytime you choose to. I don't think that could be the case in an apartment if the building itself, the structure itself is getting weaker and that sort of stuff and need to be redone. And like I said, there are many things, other things you can't do as well. For example, if you're in an apartment building and you have a vehicle, let's say you have a electrical vehicle, you can't go take a cable and run it out the apartment to the electrical vehicle to recharge it.
Yeah, but don't they have don't you have a meter?
Yeah, you have a meter, but imagine you now taking a long cable and running it through the corridor or something like that, and to go out to your car, and then next thing maybe more than one person might be doing it. So you guys probably
I guess
running out through the corridor.
I guess when we reach that stage, what will happen is that just like how you have gas stations, I think that they would put certain places where you are supposed to be able to go and charge up your car, and then knowing that the charge is going to last you X amount of hours or that kind of stuff, as opposed
they might
to
start
what
adding
you're
them to
saying.
the apartments, so it's really not in the way. Because look at how they have the glow apartments up the road, Quint. I don't know when last you've been up that way, like going to Public Works.
Yeah.
They have an actual parking lot on the side of that. I don't think they're going to build anything there, but the cars are normally parked there. Maybe they could put a charging station right there if that's the case.
Yeah.
Just saying, right, for that apartment. But in most countries, it's like these houses are like townhouse style. Look in England. Everything is townhouse. I don't think they have land to give to everybody. So even if you own your house, it's attached to somebody else's wall. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. And Colin, maybe they don't have as much land to give away. And then when you're going to be dependent on government and you can't buy your own thing, you basically have to take what's available.
Here's
right?
my problem with that, Hortensia. If you don't have land to give to your people, how come you're giving land to foreigners?
Right, that's what I'm going to ask.
And big spaces too. It doesn't make any sense.
Understood, fair enough.
Yeah.
But at the price that they want to sell it for, the average local person really can't afford it unless you
But then
have...
that means you don't want to empower your people.
Understood,
Exactly.
that too.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Exactly. Because no matter what any argument anybody brings to me, no way you can convince me that the priority to land goes to petition. You can't convince me otherwise.
And
Okay?
the thing about it,
Priority
right,
of the
Greg,
land goes to
and the thing about it, Greg, is that they will charge their locals, our own locals, X amount, a big money per square feet. But when these foreigners come, they pay cents. They pay cents.
Yes.
You understand?
But somehow we can't do it to our locals.
No.
They got to pay this big thing.
Yeah.
You're so right. As a matter of fact, on one of DJ Marish videos on his YouTube channel, he interviewed Pastor Lincoln Hazel, and he spoke basically about the same thing, that the foreigners coming in and they're getting these deals with much lower prices.
Yeah.
But these locals, be it business individuals, whoever, have to pay these high prices for the same thing.
Because you see, it is like our people have sad to say it, but our people have a crab in the barrel syndrome thing, where if a foreigner comes, you know that you're going to give him this low under cents on the dollar, right, per square foot, and you know when he gets that, that land is going to go up to market price, and he's going to be able to invest and make profit. But you don't want to do that with your own people. You charge them this hell of a load of money, and then you're charging them tax. And then recently, a man who deals with forestry says, even if you have the dirt on your own land, you can't take it from your own land and put it nowhere else, because the dirt on your land that you bought belongs to the government, belongs to the crown. Imagine that.
Yes, belongs to the crown, as the person put it.
Yeah.
Which is pure nonsense. And as a matter of fact, not only did Lincoln Hazel said it, and the thing, I even heard Reggie Francis mention it, how foreigners get better deals
all the time
than the locals.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And so what I'm saying to me, and the second video that I also saw, yes, the government was giving out individual lots to people, okay? But the lots them were very small, and I said to myself, it seems as though the government trying to compact petitions together as much as possible, where the apartment buildings are giving out lots, they're so small.
Yeah.
Trying to compact petitions so much together.
But do you think they have big lots to give us, like some of those lots they gave away a long ago, like in Greenlands and in ponds? You see some people have some big spaces.
Well, I prefer the lands go, those big spaces, I prefer the lands go to petitions, so at least they could do some kind of backyard gardening, build some structure.
Yeah, but those lands went to petitions, but maybe they don't have any more.
Repeat that again?
I said those lands did go to petitions, because who lives in Greenland and all those places?
I'm saying that's something that should still be continuing.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they don't have enough now, right?
No, they have enough.
They have
Look,
enough,
all
you
the
think?
land all over the place. Again, Cortensia, if they don't have enough, how come they're offering big spaces to foreigners, right? And notice again, to follow Greg's point, every time if Pam comes in, and Pam makes sure that you have a certain size land. If Pam stays in long enough, every the land is going to get smaller and your house is going to get smaller. The same with labor. All of them do the same thing. If for instance, labor was in and labor did a certain size house, Pam might come in and say, look there, they give you that size and we make it bigger. But look at what they do the next time when they build houses. It come back smaller again.
Yeah.
You know.
Because a lot of the houses that were built up, even in up in that area, where across from the aquifer, these people are extending their houses in their yards, and they still have yard space. So they had good size lands then. But now, as we heard, the person responsible for sustainable development said that the lots have to be smaller so that everybody can get a piece of the pie.
One of the things that people don't know is that when you end up in debt and you go to the IMF and the World Bank, those are things they recommend. They recommend you give the people smaller land and you're going to high rise and that kind of stuff. They actually stipulate that and you sign off on these things, right? Because they want you to, I mean, it's sad, you know. They want you to compact your people and leave the land for them when they come to invest.
Oh, wow.
That's what we're coming to. It seems that they want to compact your people as much as possible and leave a ton of land for the foreigners to come in and get.
Yeah.
But let me say this, Quint. Whether we got enough or ain't got enough, I want to see petitions with much more land. And if you're going to give Kitisha much more land, that's going to make the land to run out because we ain't got enough. We ain't got no problem with that. Let the foreigners come and deal with the headache if they can't get no land.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay?
Yeah.
I want Kitishans to have land, and not just land, but have enough land so you could do some kind of backyard thing.
Yeah.
Build some structure. Maybe you want to do a little business, maybe do tailoring or do a little eatery or do some manufacturing, you know, maybe manufacture some kind of hot sauce or manufacture whatever, but give enough people enough land so that they could also have enough land to empower themselves. Not just compact them together to leave as much land as possible for the foreigners so that they could get the best of land and much bigger land.
You know, you say that, but I think in this world, all of us like to have people be dependent on us. Because imagine if people had that freedom to do that and make their own monies and really don't have to depend on the government for nothing. So the government can just have monies for when time comes. So we have storm, we have your money, we had this put down. You know, people won't be dependent on social services and all that because they're empowered. But we as human beings like to feel needed.
But that's what it's all about. That's what government is all about.
We just want to be.
Look, there's certain. You know, when you get into a deal and you sign a contract, and you hear people say after when you run into problem, they say, "Well, you didn't read the fine print." Well, we need to understand the fine print of government and how governments govern and keep their people in a position where you're subservient to them, but it winds up in the end backfiring on the whole country.
Yeah, because it's the same people you're dependent on for the taxes, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Right. I'd like to make two more points.
No, not right now because we've been. I have to take a break. Yeah.
Okay.
Take
Okay.
the call
But
back
thank
with
you
that.
very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active living we life. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. Why?
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, we're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
And we're back on Island Tea, just about 29 minutes after the hour of 9. And Quint, as I said, the regional stage is spicy. The Honorable Mayor Motley has decided to call elections a year before. Today actually marks 4 years since they've been elected in Barbados, January 19, 2022. But she's decided to call elections on February 11th. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea.
Good morning again. There's a term called de facto, which essentially means, for all intents and purposes, or whether right or wrong, or whether official or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I find the government practices it too much. Okay? They're too concerned with engaging in semantics. Okay? And I use that in reference to what was said earlier about most people, that they're not selling passports or citizenship.
Yeah.
For most people, that is what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that they're trying to rebrand it, but, you know, call a spade, please.
But, Miss, let me ask you this. No matter how you rebrand it, as long as you're offering citizenship to individuals external to here who are not born here, how are you going to term it? And they're going to be paying monies for it.
They're going to be paying monies for it.
How are you going to?
Yeah, I don't understand why the obsession with you know, trying to change what. I mean, internationally too. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it's called. Okay. And again, it's practiced with this SSC legislation.
But you see, Mr. McMahon, there are two things to that made this thing so bad. If when it was first implemented, they had stuck to it more, it being only by businesses who would invest, right? Let's say businesses would come and, you know, you're only going to have X amount of business. But when you brought it down to individuals, which include father, mother, children, you understand?
Exactly.
This is where you created a problem.
Of course. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay. And similarly with the SSC. okay, the law may say one thing, okay, but and say that, well, basically you're not going to have a sovereign nation within a sovereign nation.
Yeah.
But if what is done actually reflects that, okay, the regulations, the bylaws within the boundaries of the zone, etc., reflects that, well, you can call it all kind of fancy names, right? A pig in a palace is still a pig.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can call it SLC or whatever other name you want, all right? You can't change the fact that it seems, it sounds like it's de facto putting a country within a country.
Yeah, it is.
Okay? And that is why we have to look very closely.
And let me
I
ask.
don't understand
let
why.
Let me ask you this question now, because I'm glad you brought that up. How do you feel about, after all this time, hearing we're going to make a ad hoc to scrutinize this after all this time?
You have to ask yourself, well, what was the thought processes initially?
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly and the fact is, the legislation was made to facilitate Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay. Or projects like Destiny.
Yeah.
So I don't see why you're wasting energy trying to keep them separate.
And then what makes it worse is, remember, this was being done discreetly. It is only
Right.
it is only because certain individuals over there on Nevis who had land were started to inquire why this came out, and then you heard how the response was when it first came up. We don't deal with rumors and speculations and blah blah blah. And if this was to be done discreetly, you could understand the conundrum we would be in if this had gone through, and now we realize, now you hear our leader saying we're going to put an ad hoc to make sure that this state within a state doesn't. But this would have been a actual reality if people hadn't questioned it.
People haven't sit up and take notice.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that is why we always should watch the creep up when it comes to government.
That's it.
Right? As much as they're still claiming to be transparent and accountable, nothing to out so.
Yeah.
Okay? And similarly with the Haitians.
Yeah.
You know, as you said yourself, I think it was on Saturday, that the Prime Minister probably thought that they were easy pickings.
Yeah, everybody think they could run over. Yeah.
And so he would go and say something like that. Okay?
I'm sure that he regrets it now,
Oh, yes,
because
I am absolutely sure.
I'm sure, because when you listen to the Prime Minister of Dominica, right? He made a statement, you know. I think I have the clip. I'm going to play that in voices later. He made a statement. Hear what the Dominica minister said. Look, when it comes to the signing on to take these people from external, the Dominican Prime Minister said, look, a lot of people don't sign on to this, you know. A lot of people don't sign on to this.
Well, the thing is, I think maybe too the Prime Minister in his effort to say that where it was negotiated, wanted to come out front and say, well, I don't know how the negotiations would have gone, whether the U.S. told them that they should not take Haitians, or our government decided that we would not take Haitians. I absolutely don't know how it went.
Oh, I know.
Okay, but
I know.
You know?
And I think, look, we all know we're not foolish. Look, this is not a negotiation, you know.
No. The details are still to be worked out.
Mr. McMahon.
But you think
if how could this be a negotiation when every little thing that the U.S. says to us and we don't do it, you see repercussions?
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
You know, sometimes you have to, I guess, give the Prime Minister the benefit of the doubt. You want to tell me, he said it was a negotiation. You want to tell me he lied?
Mr. McMahon, again, I'm saying, remember this was done 3 months ago,
and
right?
more
And more.
It could have been more,
Okay.
according to Gaston.
The first we heard is Gaston to come out and actually say it, right? Then others started to say it. Then I just told you I have a clip with the Dominican leader saying, a lot of us don't sign on this. So how could it have been a negotiation?
No, they signed on the MOU to take refugees or deportees.
Yes.
Well, a lot of those refugees
We're being specific about the Haitians.
are probably Haitians.
Well,
No,
in
but
terms,
what I'm saying is,
in terms of
Dominica came out and said they're going to take Haitians, but I think that was more in response to the blowback from what our
Dr.
Prime
Jew
Minister
said?
said.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, why would the U.S. tell us not to take Haitians?
That is a question. I mean, I didn't think of that part because I wasn't speaking just to the Haitians. I was speaking to accepting this external
I don't
people.
think the U.S. told us that,
Right.
Mr. McMahon. I honestly want to believe that we have to take whatever they give us, but we probably specified and said we're not going to take them.
Exactly. That's what I think too.
Yeah, we have to take
And if
whatever they send.
And if
What I
that
think too.
and if that is the case, then Mr. McMahon, you see how horrible that looks.
Well, and what's worse is the fact that you would think that, okay, he made a mistake, he misspoke, a little snafu, well, not a little, a big one.
Come and apologize.
And you would not double down on it, but you try to contain it. But instead, they double down on it. And as soon as you do that and start to make it some big discussion point about Haitians, you're just continuing the controversy.
Mr. McMahon, he didn't just make the statement, you know, he validated it by saying for security purposes, national security purposes. He validated it.
But even that don't make sense in the sense that it was being based, according to officials from the government, on the fact that there were Haitians who were here already and they may have been engaging in human trafficking. Well, you know, that in itself is obnoxious as a reason because what it is doing, again, is stigmatizing all Haitians for the bad behavior of a few.
Yeah.
Okay, that I don't know what they were thinking when they bought. Quite honest, and these people supposed to be vetted.
Yeah.
In any case, so why do they assume that?
Hold a minute, Mr. McMahon. We have our juicy information lady here now. Good morning, Cleo.
Morning.
She brings juicy information.
No, I'm listening. Good morning, Mr. McMahon. I'm listening to Mr. McMahon, right? And like I was saying earlier, right? The Prime Minister said what he said. And I keep saying I don't believe he's the only one who is not taking Haitian. I believe, like you said, Quint, he don't know diplomacy. He needs to learn it. Certain things he could have just said what he was gonna say. He accepting people without going that far.
Yeah.
And I believe just reading that thing that Dougie had up on his thing. I was looking for it, but I can't find it. When literally Dougie make the Prime Minister look bad. He made the Prime Minister look bad, and if this is his comrade, and he's the minister of tourism.
No, not tourism, foreign affairs.
Foreign affairs.
Miss Henderson
that's what I
is
meant to say.
tourism.
Yeah.
Foreign affairs. He's the minister of foreign affairs. And this is your comrade. Why would you even put out an article that literally make your prime minister look horrible on social media? Even if you disagree with what he did. Shouldn't y'all come in cabinet, y'all in the same party? Shouldn't y'all sit down and discuss that in-house? Am I wrong for thinking the way I'm thinking?
No, you're right.
That's probably correct, but in a sense, it's also self-inflicted in the sense that you're doubling down on it. You're sticking fast to a position that is most reasonable people would say.
Let me ask you a question,
that's not diplomacy.
Mr.
That's
McMahon.
not reasonable.
Mr. McMahon, let me ask you this question because there are certain things you're more fair than I am.
Excuse me.
As the Minister of as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, isn't the Minister of Foreign Affairs the one more likely to be dealing with things like sending people from external to here and negotiations from external and that kind of stuff?
Initially, yes. Of course, we all know the buck stops with the Prime Minister.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I
he
think-
should have been
I
privy
think
to
he
all that
latched
even
on.
before it come to the public. But he acting as though he was never privy to the part about leaving out Haitians.
Right. Yeah. You would think that he would know. He would at least be involved in the negotiations and so on, whatever approaches were made. Okay. But again, I think it's because the Prime Minister thought he was latching on to a really good, a good idea to say that, well, we're excluding Haitians. I don't know why you think that coming out and saying that would be a good idea. You know, that is the big mistake that was made, because, as you said, Leo, there may be other leaders who might have said the same thing, but they had the good sense not to come out in public and say it.
Speak it out loud out their mouth.
Yeah.
And the thing what get me right, everybody on social media, you know, bashing thinkers. Look, me say what you want about Jew. But when they come at my country, I'm gonna come at them. Because I have to point out to them they're all a bunch of hypocrites. Because on an everyday basis, these same people don't refuse the Haitians. So don't come now want to come on my country.
But you see, Cleo, the reason why they're going to do it is because of part of what Mr. McMahon is trying to suggest. They're going to do it because, having done it, here was someone who put himself in the spotlight, and now if all of them push him up in the spotlight, it takes the light off of them.
Off of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I saw a post that said all this thing about the Haitians and so on is just an attempt at distraction from the SSZ.
Oh boy.
Because they're going along with it. They're going along with it. You know, on the wraps, and
we have something else to talk about.
You have something else. we have something else to talk about.
Exactly, Mr. McMahon. I believe that too.
No.
And the thing about this SSD, you think it's just it's alone these people want to go?
No.
Exactly. All of them holding one head. Right now, they are making the Prime Minister look like, oh boy. Like he's the bad one in the bunch because the poor thing didn't know diplomacy to just keep him out shut.
But you see,
but you would think, though, that having done that, the damage control would have been to either walk it back or clarify or, you know, some kind of thing like that. But it's doubling down on the what appears to be the stigmatization of Haitians.
Yeah.
That is the part I don't like.
But Mr. McMahon, but it all goes to the people that he surrounds himself with. These advisors that he has.
I wouldn't put it that way, right? Because I am thinking that gut instinct alone should tell you that this would have been bad. I
That
mean,
is what
you have to rely. If you have to rely on people around you.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Mr. McMahon, in that sense. But if he's paying someone to advise him, if I'm your advisor, that means I'm looking out for your best interest.
And he should have advised against it.
Cleo. I hear what you're saying, but you see, if the Prime Minister, who we love, would listen to us more often and not listen to us with his back humped up in anger, and listen to us and say, let me take some sense. You know how long ago we've been telling the Prime Minister to scrutinize the people around him?
But Quint, they're not gonna listen. They're not gonna listen to us because over the years, right, being on calling in our WinFM station and stuff. Over the years, when they don't like what we say, what they do, they tell you, oh, don't go on WinFM, or they try to shut down WinFM, so they're not going to listen.
Yeah.
They don't learn.
They don't listen and learn. You understand? Because to Mr. McMahon, your point about scrutinizing something is valid, because that is what I said Saturday. So your advisor brings something to you or says something to you, so you don't have a brain to analyze it yourself before, if the buck stops at you. When you do it, then it's not the advisors who are going to get blame, you know.
Yeah. You have to take the hit. That's true.
Yeah.
Quick, maybe he got the speech the morning and he didn't have time to read it.
Well, whose fault is that?
So to be quite honest, I don't think it's that, because he did it said it at the round table, and I actually looked at the footage, and there was a kind of reticence about it, a kind of hesitancy, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't come out with conviction, so it may not be. I don't know. I think it's just that he
the horse is already out the gate. How what you gonna do now? The only thing is to come back and say, well, okay, the Haitians can come.
Look, when I sit here, I can't speak for everyone, but when I sit here, I have no intention of making my leadership, the leader of our country, look bad. But I'm like a parent here. I have no intention of making my children look bad. But if I've been saying to my children, look, when you go out in the outer world, do this and don't do that. Mind you, you have your own life to live and you can make your choices. But take my advice, because I've been there before. And they go and they do. What are you going to do as a parent? You're going to, as a parent, even though you love your children, when you find them in a conundrum, you're going to look at them straight in the eye and say, this is what I was telling you.
Yes, you have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one, this particular thing, I think is too has spread too far to be contained now. It should have been contained very early o'clock.
Yeah.
And you know, they are now faced with just two choices: either they back off completely about that, or they stick to the guns, circle the wagons, you know, and hope that it goes away as soon as possible. But
Mr. McMahon, you keep saying they stick to the guns. The Prime Minister seems like he all by himself. I won't be surprised as soon you hear he needs to step aside and let somebody else take the position.
Well, I don't. I
don't think they can go that far, Cleo, because election is not too long far away, and if they do that, it will be a self-destruct.
Right.
It will be whoever lines up next. It's something like what Unity did to themselves. Then.
Yeah. I don't think. I don't
sense flop it up.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll go that far.
Yeah.
They're probably out of enlightened self-interest.
Yeah.
Or you know,
they're going to keep it together.
Self-serving interest.
For
Yeah.
face.
They're going to stick together.
Yeah.
But remember I talked about the distraction before?
Yes.
We should not allow ourselves to be distracted with this SSC thing. We can be in wait mode for now, but when it comes up to Parliament, right, we have to pay a lot of attention, okay? Because we have to keep our eyes on the ball as far as this is concerned, and remember the red lines that we have. One is that it's too many settlers in the first place. Secondly, they don't share our principles and values, okay? And we should be concerned with them changing our destiny, okay?
Yeah.
And
especially when we look at what the leader of the superpower of the world in the Western Hemisphere, his attitude towards people.
Yeah. We're almost going to be outliers, you know. That's the place we go to for relaxation and so on.
Yeah.
You stay there in that little corner there and behave yourself, and that's it, you know. Don't talk about expanding your relations and so on. But the third thing, red line that we should have, right, is that geographical area, right? We got to watch how much land is in the hands of foreigners.
Yeah.
Because that is the bottom line. Okay.
But Mr. McMahon, if I agree with you 100%, but look, I see us on a road to self-destruction, because bearing in mind the latter part of your statement that you just made, and bearing in mind that our leaders persist in going down the road of this SSZ, number two. Number three, if it is the concern that you express, plus the stubbornness to continue down the SSZ road, this land issue is not going to be a few generations from now. We're not going to have any land, Mr. McMahon.
But Quinn,
and they're saying, I was surprised at Brantley. Well, not surprised. Anyway,
but
Brantley saying basically that well is a transaction between a buyer and a seller. You can't tell somebody who have land don't sell the land or who to sell it to. When you look at that, if it just boils down to that, then you know that it's just a matter of time.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
We're overcome by rich folks.
Yeah. And look at who is facilitating the sale. Our own people. Our own people, because of looking at the monies that they will make, are facilitating the sale to external individuals to make sure that will make sure that down the line the internal individuals have no autonomy. That is what it means, You hear that word autonomy?
You got to put limits. You got to put limits on things like these. Somehow or the other, you got to put limits on it. Otherwise,
okay. Cleo, you may go ahead.
But Quint, what these people realize is that when they with this SSD thing, they're giving back, they're taking back, giving our power back to them, because when they come in, and like you said, they have money. They come in, they have their money, they put down, they make their own laws practically in a country. They want to put down their own laws, and what is that going to do for us? And the thing about it, considering that people are against it, and they know the people of the country is against it because they hear the talk on the radio every day, but yet they're still going forward with it. Would you say they're going forward with it is because then all they hear is the talk on the radio? Don't you think that the people would have hit the ground, hit the street?
I agree.
Don't you think they would get the message more clearer?
Yeah, but
the thing with people though, in the final analysis, everybody look out for what they consider their interest.
Yeah.
And I fully understand what has happened with some of the people in Nevis, because when you got property and somebody come and make you an offer you can't refuse, whether buying it at 3 times the value or something like that. What you going to do?
If I have a property, let me tell you point blank, if I have property, you cannot offer me anything that I cannot refuse, because it is,
really?
I'm telling you, it is property that I have. I don't know what my children might do, but it is property that I have, and I know what that means to posterity. So you cannot offer me anything that I cannot refuse. Point blank, don't even come to me. I'm not everybody else. You understand?
No. But Quinn, look at it as a business decision. If somebody comes and offer to buy your property, let's say at 3 times the value, you realize you can then go out and buy similar property for the prevailing value, and still have more to go over, money left over.
Let me put it bluntly to you this way. Let me use myself as an example. I'm living on a property that belonged to my mother who has passed. I know the struggles my mother made. I know the sacrifices that she made. I know the compromises that she made to get that. You understand? It has a sentimental value for me. Apart from the fact that I know where my people stand in terms of land ownership, it has a sentimental value. But let me push it forward. Why is that individual offering me 3 times the amount? This is why our people do not think.
Because he knows the value. He knows the value. He don't think we know.
He knows that 10 years from now, the value that he paid me is going to be way exceeding And so my children would have that value, so they can go to a bank, they can invest, they can. You understand what I'm saying? But I would have lost that, and anything I get beyond that is not going to come up to the sentimental value and all of the other things of the prior. You understand? Look,
I was just explaining the fact that white people would be willing to sell to these people.
I hear you. I hear you. And that is why I took it and I said, look, let me use myself as an example. But you, Mr. McMahon, from the time you started to hear me outline, I heard you in the background saying yes, because you understood.
Yeah, of course. There's sentimental value. You can't put a price on that. On the sentimental value of something.
Yeah.
Okay. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't find themselves in that situation where they will pass up a bargain for sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Mr. Matt Mahan.
Yes.
What do you think about Motley calling election a whole year ahead of the election? What's your thoughts on that? Because when I saw it, right, my comment, let me tell you what my comment was, and I'll come off. When I saw it, my comment was, stunt like that is why the Caribbean needs set date for election. It's time now we take away the bell out of these people's pockets and demand set date for election. That was my thought on it. I'll come off so somebody else can come on if they want to.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
We should have set dates, but as it is right now, Motley probably
It's
use
a strategy.
Political instinct.
Yeah, it's a strategy.
Decide that this is probably the best time to call elections when our opposition is not in the best of shape, and there's so many distractions around, and people are going to want steady leadership in times like these.
And bearing in mind, Mr. McMahon, the kind of person she is and her rhetoric and what is happening in our proximity right now, I think this we might be wrong here, but I think this should weigh in her favor, because she's one of the only one who has come out and said things the way we see them. You understand?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
She's the one who seems to offer any kind of resistance.
Yes.
Everybody else just, folds.
I hear people.
Yeah, you're right.
I hear people saying things like, "Oh, how come she's quiet? What do you expect from her? If she's the sole individual out there who has said things the way how we see it realistically, and all the rest of them, majority of them men, right? One of them, I have a clip, Mr. McMahon, make sure you tune in on Voices. I have a clip where one of them in particular, he's so weak, he does not want to say anything about the external impact that is being pushed on us. But he finds it in himself to throw words on Mayor Motley by saying things like, well, I don't deal with rhetoric and a lot of word and good speeches and going in front of the UN and that kind of stuff. I only deal with
name and shame. You're talking about St. Lucia?
Yes. You understand what I'm saying? I only deal with my people. But if you're gonna live in it's a ostrich sticking your head in the sand issue. How are you gonna say I'm only gonna deal with my personal internal issue and global politics is affecting you?
And not only that, it shows how short-sighted our leaders are.
Yeah.
When they're throwing
each other under the
and
bus.
babs and so on at each other.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Rejoicing over the misfortune of our neighbors and saying things like, well, look, it's because of what I did that my country is not in good position.
Oh boy! Don't talk about the one from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, I had some clips about that for
she
this
has
morning,
no
but we
shame
didn't get to it.
whatsoever.
Mhm.
Here, I have a clip. I heard a clip with her saying to the opposition. He used to say, "What Trump can do? What Trump could do? What Trump could do?" But you see now what Trump could do when you see what he do to their mothers.
I can't believe they're rejoicing in it. I'm actually glad my country isn't in that, and I pray they stay out of that and not rejoice. But Trinidad is behaving pompous.
But I mean, you don't expect. This is something you'd expect from, let's say, rank and file people.
Yeah.
When they talk about, well, I'm fearful that my visa would be revoked and so on. A leader of a country is going to actually come out and say, listen, you know how many Trinidad visas holders and green card holders in thing, and give the numbers.
Yeah.
And so you better basically saying you better shut up.
Yeah.
A leader of a country, a supposedly sovereign country, at least have some pride, man.
So we're going to take a break now because we're a bit over time, 3 minutes over time, so we can segue into voices, which should not really be mine to push, but the individual who usually holds on a Monday goes out to make his money otherwise and leaves me in the, to carry the bag. So any parting word, Cartians here?
No, let's just have a great Monday, and we will continue tomorrow with the hot topics on Island Tea. Hot tea, yeah.
Okay.
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. Why?
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our